Let us journey back for a moment to the year 1961. JFK has just been inaugurated and now serves as our 35th president. Soon after, man enters space for the very first time. In 1961, a new car would cost you less than $3,000, and a gallon of gas to fill it, just 27 cents. The enemy of the time was communism, and though relations were tense with the Soviet Union and certainly with Cuba, on the heels of the 1950s, 1961 was a simpler time. This was the climate of our nation when, after searching for several years to find the right location, the Navy chooses Lemoore, a dusty Central California farm town, more than 100 miles from the Pacific Ocean, as the site for its newest air station. And in 1961, NAS Lemoore is commissioned. In July of that same year, a station hospital is also commissioned, with Captain Morris as its senior medical officer. Look at these folks, and imagine, if you will, a different time. A time completely free from RVUs and CPTs, Demer's-I and Alta, HIPAA and HEDIS, IA training and email, MRSA and HIV, and even 9/11.
Something happening here. What it is.
Fast forward to July 1968, just 7 years later. As LBJ nears the end of his term in office, the climate of our nation has changed. The U.S. is now deeply entrenched in Vietnam, with more than 1,000 American lives lost each month in a war that is heavily protested. It's been just 3 months since the assassination of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King, and only days since the death of Senator Robert Kennedy. Race riots continue to occur in cities across America. With the innocence of the 50s a thing of the past, it seems that times aren't quite so simple anymore. It is against this backdrop that the Chief of Naval Operations spearheads a program to reclassify 9 station hospitals around the world as naval hospitals. One of those is the station hospital aboard NAS Lemoore. A commissioning ceremony on July 1st, 1968, transforms the station hospital into Naval Hospital Lemoore, with Captain James Niforopoulos as its first commanding officer. Captain Niforopoulos oversees a staff of 111, made up of 12 doctors, 13 nurse corps officers, 5 MSCs, 75 hospital corpsmen, 2 civilian nurses, and 4 other civilian employees. Over the years, as the air station grew, so did the patient population and staff. And by the 1990s, it was clear that the original building, dark and outdated, and just 50,000 square feet, was no longer adequate. So in 1997, a new hospital was contracted, and construction began on a $38 million facility, 3 times the size. On May 12, 2000, with construction complete, a beautiful new state-of-the-art hospital was dedicated, staffed then by just under 400 personnel. Today, less than 10 years later, our staff numbers over 600, comprised of military, civilian, and contract personnel, providing care to more than 35,000 beneficiaries. It's pretty clear that many things have changed over the years. From our hospital building, to technology, and even the face of nursing. Still, the one thing that endures is our mission, caring for the fleet, Marine Force, and families of our nation. An awesome responsibility, but most certainly a privilege. To have people entrust their lives to us, from the most joyous of beginnings, through the lifespan, and even in final days. Well, not everyone is afforded such an honor. Something inside each of us called us to this life of service, and I dare say, not one of us is here just for the money. For there's a camaraderie that comes from seeing people through their happiest times as well as through their worst. And every member of this command plays a role in accomplishing our mission. From the military members who come and go, to our civilians who act as anchors in a sea of change. Together, we laugh. We mourn. We even raise our families together. For it is here that life's little moments blend into years as we grow and learn and live, brought together by something greater than ourselves, a desire to serve others. And we do it all under the roof of our hospital building, her sister clinics, and all too often around the globe. We began 40 years ago, during a time of war. And today, though the enemy has changed, we find ourselves at war again. Like the war in Vietnam, today's war has also been hotly criticized. But regardless of one's political views, the fact remains that thousands of Americans will not sleep in their own beds tonight. They'll risk their lives, apart from loved ones, in defense of our freedom. Americans who deserve our prayers, our love, our thanks, and most importantly, our support. For without our military, what need would we even have for a Navy hospital? It's been 40 years since our commissioning. As we celebrate this milestone, let us reflect on our past. Let us revel in our present, and let us look forward to our future. And so, to all who have ever walked through her doors, we salute you. Happy 40th anniversary, Naval Hospital, Lemoore.